And girls, you're going to notice right away that this is a very different video than what Mr. Brown typically does, because usually you see my hands and you see me physically working on a piece of paper. Well, that's not what today's video is going to be because I don't have my document camera with me. So instead, you're going to be seeing me draw on a Word doc what I want you to do, right? It actually should be pretty darn easy. You should be able to follow along really easily to what I am, even though you physically can't see me working with the protractor or the ruler or whatever it is. So for today's exercise, you are going to need the following: a piece of paper and a pencil. A standard protractor is fine. You don't need a fancy 360-degree protractor. A regular one is okay. A ruler and one small plastic square of any color. You know Mr. Brown, he likes to use those squares to get perpendicular lines nice and perfect, right? So today's math lesson is on complementary angles. We've been working on angles for a while, right? Obtuse and acute and right angles and all this kind of stuff. And all complementary angles are is this. It's actually pretty simple. You take a right angle, a 90-degree angle, and you break it into two different angles, right? Two smaller ones inside of the right angle. For example, a 50-degree acute and a 40-degree acute add up together to make a 90-degree right angle. Now, what we're going to be doing is a little more complicated than that. It's not quite that simple, but it's still pretty darn easy to follow. So what I'd like you to do is to have your piece of paper in front of you, the tall way, the Hamburg way, and I would like you to do the following. If we're working on the upper half of our paper, right, I would like you, with your ruler, I would like you to draw a line, probably about maybe 3 to 4 inches, and I just lost it, of course, hey. Probably about 3-4 inches, maybe 5. Nothing too big and nothing too small, right? I'm representing it with an arrow because I want you, after you draw your line 3, 4, 5 inches long, I want you to put a point on the left part of it, which I cannot do, and an arrow on the right hand, because remember that these are rays, right? When you make an angle, you're actually making a ray, right? So I'm going to move mine down a little bit here. So take your next, after you draw your line and put the arrow on it, I want you to take your square. Now, remember that Mr. Brown has had you in the past place your plastic square right on your line, okay? Like I'm doing with my square, right towards the edge right here. That's where I want you to put your square, okay? Because I want you to take your ruler and now line it up vertically so that when we make this angle, right, we can draw the angle to be perfectly perpendicular, okay? So line it up. Now put your ruler to the left of the square now. Now remove the square, right? We've done this before. So now when you go to make your new line, it's going to be perfectly straight and perpendicular like that, okay? Maybe probably even better than mine. Okay, so please pause as much as you possibly need to make this happen. So draw your nice, perfect right angle. And does it matter that one line is longer than the other? No, it does not. Okay, so now we have a right 90-degree angle. And at this point, you are going to use your ruler to make another line, another ray, inside of this 90. And now I want to be clear about this. You can place this ray anywhere you wish between 0 degrees and 90 degrees, anywhere in here. For example, here is, whoops, don't do that, Mr. Brown. For example, when you make your ray, you can put it down here or up here or towards the middle. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to put mine a little bit further down like that. But again, you are welcome to place yours wherever you wish. Okay, so please pause the video and add an extra ray in the middle. And you're splitting it up now from one angle, so you now have this angle right here. See, this, and this. And here's angle 1, and here's angle 2 on top. I'm not going to put letters of the alphabet to it today because I think that would kind of needlessly complicate things. I don't want to go there. So what you are going to do next is, with your protractor, line up your protractor. So I want you to measure the bottom angle only. Now again, your bottom angle could look very different than Mr. Brown's bottom angle, okay? So after you have done this, I want you to write right here. I'm going to use a text box. I don't have a protractor, but I'm going to say, and please don't come after me if you think I'm wrong about this, but I'm going to roughly say this is maybe about, I don't know, 22 inches. Hello. 22 degrees is what I'm going to say. That's not the degree sign. 22, I don't know. I think that's how yeah, there you go, 22 degrees. So I'm going to write that in there. You measure yours, and remember, this is for the bottom angle only, and then write in what the protractor says. Mr. Brown, can I round it to the nearest 5? Sure. You can do that. Or you can get super specific today. That's okay too. Okay, so pause the video and do that. Okay. After you have done that, and I do not want you, I want to be clear about this, I do not want you to use a protractor to measure this top angle. We're going to use very simple and basic subtraction, okay? We know that a right angle is 90 degrees, right? And we know that the angle you just made was whatever it is. For me, it's 22. For you, it's going to be something else. You're going to just do some very basic subtraction. My numbers don't line up that great here. You're going to do some very basic subtraction. 90 minus that bottom number, and that's what the top one is going to be. So you understand that your answer is going to be different than Mr. Brown's, right? For me, it would be like 78 degrees is what this top one would be. So once for my calculation, I would write up here, 78. Let's see if I can get the degrees right. Gosh darn it. It's going to be, 78 degrees. 78 degrees. Well, anyways, you get the idea. Boy, I'm messing up big time today. There we go. But again, when I look at your papers, I should not see 90 minus 22. It's highly unlikely you are going to have the same thing that I'm going to have. Capiche? So that's not good. Don't put exactly what I'm putting. Yours is going to be different. I want you to do this, my friends, a total of 4 times. The time you're doing it right now, and now in 3 additional times. So you're going to repeat this process 3 more times by drawing a right angle. And then for what I would like to see is for your next one, I would like you to see your ray be in a very different position than it was the first time. So if it was down here for exercise number 2, make it larger up there, okay? And obviously you're going to be way larger here. And then maybe the third one towards the middle, or make it something very different than the first time. Does that make sense? So I would like to see you really play around with different wider bottom angles. And I want you to do this a total of 4 times. You could do it all on the same side of this paper. You can do 2 on one side, 2 on the other side, whatever you need to do. So if you need what does Mr. Brown want us to do? Rewind this video. I don't think people say rewind anymore. Go back to this video and re-watch certain sections of how Mr. Brown did this using your ruler and your protractor. Make sure you're lining up everything on your protractor properly so you're getting good results, okay? And that is it for this exercise. So again, I'm going to be looking at these tomorrow. Make sure your name is at the top. Make sure that you have different angles on the inside, and do the subtraction and have fun with it. And again, also ask yourself, hey, do these 2 numbers make sense? Do these 2 numbers add up to 90? Because if they don't add up to 90, then you've done your subtraction wrong, capiche? So make sure, okay? All right, folks, that is it. Have a wonderful day.